You changed on me. Why did you change on me? You were supposed to be right here. You changed on me. You changed on me. Why did you change on me? I didn't know you, but you ain't do the same for me. You changed on me. Why did you change on me? Change on me. You were supposed to be right here.
That beat about to make me go in.
Hey, yo, what up with it, man? Y'all know what time it is, man. And once again, man, they done fucked around. TDFA. Oh, I shouldn't have. TDFA, man. We back at this shit again, man. You feel me? So, shit, man. You know what's going on, man. I got my co-host with me up in the building, man. And once again, if y'all look up on screen, man, this is Miss what?
Beezy baby.
Yeah. So, you know, man, welcome back, man. You know, man,
Yeah, it's
everything
been a
been kind of
minute.
good, man, for this week, man. So, how your week been?
My week been.
Yeah, that's how I go, man. You know,
How have your week been?
uh, it's been. You feel me? It's been. You feel me? But all else fails, man. This is how we gonna start it off, man. You know what I mean? We gonna start it off in a good way, man. For everybody that got something going on, everybody week that's been just a week, man.
Right.
We gonna let y'all know, man. Don't stop grinding, man. Just keep going. You feel me? Because it's
Absolutely.
always that little shift, man, right before something big happen. You know what I mean? So just be aware of everything that's going on. Keep grinding. Don't let nobody stop your dream, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's
They
what it's
gotta
supposed to
know.
do. Let them haters do what they supposed to do, man.
You
You
hear me?
feel me? For sure, for sure.
You
So with
hear
all
me?
that being said, let's get up into the latest, man. Latest and greatest. What we got?
Okay, so we got. You want to talk about the ice situation first?
Yeah, let's
Jump
talk
into
about it.
that. Okay. So basically, we're going. How do you feel about the whole ice situation and what's going on, and how do you think that being in interracial relationships, how do you think that they are affected by that?
Well, it's a lot. Like being by the border and doing all of that, like being there for years, man. Out in Arizona and just seeing how everything work. And it's a culture shock. Let me start by there first, man, because actually seeing them people, and I'm like 8 minutes away from the border, you know what I mean? So I'm seeing actually people work in the US and then go back, you know what I mean? The whole bit,
Mhm.
like, it's crazy. So to see it actually how they take care of their family. Like you can't blame a person for trying to take care of their family and doing what they got to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, but for them to like get taken from their family just off nothing, I could see if like, you know what I mean, if you was doing something, they at first they started off with the old just violent offenders and all of this and all, but they just taking just random people, just you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And this is a start though, because you got to think about it. If they could just randomly do that, shit, who you think next? You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Mhm.
Let's just be honest, man. So, you know, uh, like we ain't the only like I don't know, man. It get real crazy, man. It's getting real crazy at this point. So by seeing like a interracial relation, like a interracial shit, it's kind of a culture shock too. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that people don't talk about. So uh do kids really talk about like slavery, or just like they taking a lot of history out of schools, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
just imagine like not being able to know half of your history, or you know what I mean? Uh
And see that right there is where I'm sorry, I mean
no,
that.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, my daughter with this whole ice situation, they had a walkout. Like they did a walkout, and she in high
Mm-hmm.
school, and she's in the 10th grade. And we stay in a suburban area. We don't stay in
Mm-hmm.
the inner city, so it's a mix of all different races that go to her school. It's not just one race. So with that, it's like you got these kids who have friends that's in different races and that's going through different situations like
Mm-hmm.
actively. So they what they stand for and what they believe in and they strong in their voices, they way different than what we was when we was going to school. They backing
Mm-hmm.
each other on a different type of level. And it's crazy because me as her mom, I have a different view on it than her daddy do. And when she did, but she stayed with me. She go to school with
Mm-hmm.
me. So when she went and she did her walkout, I told her, she told me before she was gonna do the walkout, like mom, tomorrow we supposed to do the walkout,
Mm-hmm.
woo. And I told her, like, well, I stand behind you because she told me what they was doing it for. Like we don't agree with how ICE is doing these families, she like we got friends and stuff that is going through different situations and it's a big thing. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't agree with that. So she's like, it's a lot of us who go do the walkout. So I'm like, I stand behind you 100% because that take, for one, it take a lot of courage to do that. And when she did the walkout, though, they called me, but it's people on the outside, like of different nationalities, that's
Mm-hmm.
talking to them crazy and stuff like that because they don't
And
agree with.
that's one thing I do want to talk about too. And it's kind of crazy because we need to listen to that generation too,
Hmm.
because like every generation needs to listen to every generation.
That's right.
I'm sure that it's not the same, but we need to find a medium.
That's
The only
right.
reason I say that is because, okay, if you think about like our, okay, let me ask you this before I start with that. It's different types of racism, or has racism changed over the years? Because racism is racism, right? You know what I mean?
It ain't changed. It's just different faces.
Exactly. Now,
The
what I'm
the
finna say by that is because if, say, like my grandparents them age, okay, I'll say I'll go back to the generations of racism, which I would think not. This is just my opinion, but I'm just
mhm
going off of the older to
mhm
the present, right?
mhm
Now, I would say like the oldest one to me, and it was probably before then, but I'm gonna say like oldest what I would think of
mhm
is like the slavery part, right?
mhm
Then it went from the slavery part to, I would say, those times with like getting sprayed with water hose, getting bit by dogs. You know what
yep
I mean? That
yep
part of
yep
the era. Now I would figure with my generation, okay, I'm a step, but and then okay, I'm gonna go back before that. Okay, so we had that era. Then we had the racist era with the crack and everything else, right?
mhm
I would put that up in the category too.
mhm
So then after that, it was with our generation, I would feel
that's right.
it's the
That's right.
prisons, and I would say it's kind of like uh the police brutality part, like the killing. You know what I mean?
That-
I
right.
would take that into like, so I'm just going with
Absolutely.
all the levels of the race because they're
Absolutely.
not. We ain't getting sprayed or bitten by dog. Well, we probably the dog part. You know what I
Mhm
mean? But
mhm
it's just different parts of this shit. You know what I mean?
That's
And
absolutely
I
it.
would say, okay, now I got this far. What would we consider this generation's racism to be
The
like
false
number one?
imprisonments, the
Mm-hmm.
false imprisonments, the false them having any type of reason to pull your ass over, search your car,
Okay.
and giving the police the immunity like they're giving them to snatch all the rights away from us as a people. It's
Right.
different forms of what they doing now the slavery is still the same thing. They just changing the chains. The
Right.
chains is just different. That's it. Like it's still the
Mhm.
same type of shit. We not free. We
Right.
not free.
Yeah.
And it
And
breaks down, and
that's what I kind
that's
of
why I
want.
say like, and what you just said, like I swear to God, that's everything. Because what I was gonna say was even how does it affect the household, right? Now, me and her father is not together. We don't stay in the same house. But the way I view it, I stand behind her 20,000%. But what you said, like we all need to listen to each generation. His
Hmm.
way of thinking, exactly what he said when I told her, like, she did the walkout. Walked out of where? You know what I'm saying? Walked out to school for the reason I told him it was because of the ICE situation. That this was something that they felt strongly about, and I backed her. He like, wasn't nobody walking out for us. Well, she better not do that again. I said no. Well, no, they didn't have the courage that these kids got nowadays.
Right.
They don't have they didn't have the voices that these kids got nowadays. So
Hmm.
for the right shit, I'm with it, and I'm gonna I stand behind that. But it's the breakdown and the mindsets of now. Let's say we was together and in the same household. That's why I say, how do you think that that type of stuff affects people that is together and have
Yeah.
different
It, it
outlooks
it
on?
it really does. It really
Mm-hmm,
does. And that's just like with even my daughter, like, you know what I mean? My daughter
mm-hmm,
biracial. It's like
mm-hmm,
Black History Month or just coming like, and then I had to think about it. Like, I know that she know about Black History Month. It's just like certain things that she's like coming to me with, and I'm like, that's like, no, it's way more than that. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, let me
mm-hmm.
see this book real quick. And
Yep,
it was just like the regular, like, you know what I mean? And
yep.
I'm like, nah, that's come here, let me here, read this. Or you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And she
Mhm.
wanna know more. But they
Mhm.
ain't so it's up to us to actually, you know what I mean? Just don't think
Mhm.
just because they going to school.
That part right there. It's that part right there. Your camera went out. But I'm gonna say this because I don't know if your camera went out. It's so Black history has changed so much, and the way of history with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, uh, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks. That's the basic Black history that you going to learn about, but the history goes deeper, the newer history, which is the George Floyds, the Trayvon Martins, the Michael Browns, the Sandra Blands, all of those and their form and ways of dying, to police brutality. That's part of our history because these are things that have happened, um, by the hands of law enforcement, those who have been put in position that's supposed to protect us, but did not. So this was their new wave of slavery. And this is what our people has succumbed to. And we have been dealing with this for years. So no, it has not faded at all. It just changed. So yeah. I don't know what's going on with the live. I don't know where you went in this spirit. It's been acting up. But we can move and slide on. I can slide us on to the next little topic. What do we think the proper age is for girls and boys to date? Okay. So me personally, I have a whopping 5.